Hey everybody, Cooper here at etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Hollywood Racks Sport Rider SE on our 2021 Dodge Durango. Our bike rack is going to be a platform style bike rack, being able to hold two bikes at 80 pounds each, meaning we're going to be able to accompany those heavier e-bikes. Our main point of contact though is this hook right here that is going to sit in the middle of your frame. So unfortunately our carbon frame bikes are not going to be an option on this rack. Now, while our rack does come with a tilt-away feature, unfortunately that tilt is not aggressive enough to clear our hatch from our handlebars because they will be making contact, and not enough in the way that I'd be comfortable holding the bike out of the way. There's a good gap in there. Now, with that in mind, up in our seated position, if you have some oversized handlebars bigger than our mountain bike handlebars, you may run into some back clearance that you might be worried about, but on some normal sized handlebars like this, I'm not too concerned with making contact with that back glass. If we're going to want access into the back of our hatch, we're going to have to take our bike off. So we're going to show you what that process looks like. On our front and rear wheels are going to be these rubber straps here that we just simply need to press a button to disengage, allowing us to pull that strap through, set it to the side so it's out of our way. Coming to the back, repeating that process. You can also take a look at this additional rubber piece that they offer, just to help offer some additional protection onto our bike. Now when we come up to our hook, we can see that they also have a nice little piece of padding here to help our frame contact, but we're going to want to hold on to our bike because as soon as we disengage this hook, we are going to have all that weight of our bike. And we're going to be very careful because unfortunately these hooks don't come all the way off and there's not a lot of room before we make contact to our back glass. So we're just going to have to very carefully maneuver our bike around until we get it off. But once we have it down, we are ready to ride. Now, with our bike off, before we hit the trail, we can clean a couple of things up, including replacing our rubber straps, just ratcheting them back into place. And by noticing how big this strap is, as well as the giant gap we have here, you can notice that we are able to accommodate up to a 5-inch wheel width, which is just a very big, impressive wheel width. And by loosening this knob here, we can actually adjust our cradles, and we have a maximum wheelbase per bike for an impressive 60 inches. So almost any bike you want to throw at this, it's going to be able to carry it. The next thing we are going to do is take down our center mass. We're going to do this by pulling out this safety pin here, but if you are struggling, it is because that it has a special orientation with a notch with this pin that it will not come out until it is in that orientation. Before we put this down, did want to show you on the hooks that there is a metal lock core available. That is one of our main contact points on our bike. So just knowing that after you ratchet your bike in, you'll be able to lock it with a little additional safety, security, peace of mind. So then we're going to go ahead and lower that down, remembering to replace our pin to secure it down in this position. And then we're going to gain full access into the back hatch of our car. With our center mass down, now would be the time to grab your helmet, grab your shoes, grab lunch, or put it all away once you're done with your ride. But as our hatch tabs down, we're gonna talk measurements, because anytime you put something into the hitch of your vehicle, you're adding on length. So by taking our tape measure, we're going to put it against our bumper and come out to the farthest point of our bike rack. And we're gonna see that we're adding on about 30 inches coming off the back of our vehicle, which is just important to know. If you have a tight space that you're trying to park into, storage in your garage, is there enough space for your car, plus 30 inches? As well, if you're changing lanes on the highway, it's important to remember that you have your bike rack behind your car. Another measurement we're going to look at real quick is going to be our ground clearance. So from the ground to the part in our bike rack, we're looking at about 18 inches. And that's just important to know in case you're traveling any uphill surfaces or parking in driveways that are uphill. With 18 inches, with this ancient chain rise we're being given, I'm not too worried about this making ground contact though. Now in order to get our rack in our more folded up compact position, we're going to want to pull our outside knob first and lift until we are past that clearance point, and then also pull our more inner knob until we hear that click into place, letting us know that we are in that compact position. Taking some new measurements, we can see that we're going to save a lot of space in that position. Our newest furthest point out is only going to be about 14 inches out from the bumper of our car. So having it in this configuration when you're either driving around with no bikes on, or maybe even while you're out riding, just to save some space around your car for the other people around. With it in this more folded up compact position, we're going to have an unobstructed rear view window, meaning that we can have full sight out of that. We're going to be able to use our backup camera. While the bike rack might be in the shot, we are going to be able to see past that to anything we need to see behind us. We have a full unobstructed view of our license plate as well. The only thing might be that while you're in reverse using your backup camera, the sensors with how close the bike rack sits to it are going to be going off. Our rack is going to have a 2-inch shank, which is going to lead up to this nice collar, which is just going to help us fit into our 2-inch receiver and line up that hole perfectly to fit our hitch pin through, which does use a lock core with these keys that are key-to-like to those hooks that we saw earlier. So not only will this key help secure your bike, it'll help secure your bike rack too. Coming back to the end of the bike rack, we do see that we have an anti-rattle device built into our bike rack. When you're tightening this down, you do want to make sure that you leave this in a up or sideways position, or else you are going to be sacrificing ground clearance by having that locked down. Overall, I do think the rack has some really impressive feature. Its ability to carry 80-pound bikes, having a wheelbase of 60 inches and having a tire width of up to 5 inches really means whatever bike you want to put on this rack, it's going to be able to fit. Unfortunately though, I just think that some of the processes in using it are really involved, getting it down, putting it up, that center mass, and it not even being able to tilt away in order to open up our hatch makes me just think that for the Dodge Durango, it's maybe not the best fit. An alternative recommendation that I would admit that you would just sacrifice a little bit on that weight for would be something like the Rocky Mounts monorail. But here today, we took a look at the Hollywood Racks Sport Rider SE on our 2021 Dodge Durango. Thanks for watching.